When Wizkid and Asake announced that they were working on a joint project, it immediately became one of those moments Nigerian music fans could not ignore. Not because collaborations are rare, but because of what both artists represent at this point in their careers. For over 3 years now, the bromance between Wizkid and Asake has quietly grown in public view. From industry cosigns to shared stages and subtle creative alignment, their relationship has sparked debates that go beyond music. Some people believe Wizkid has leaned into collaborations with younger artists to keep his relevance intact as his commercial peak begins to flatten. Others argue that Asake, on the other hand, has smartly tapped into Wizkid's decade-long experience of exporting Afrobeats to the global market, using that knowledge to fast-track his own success. The truth is, both perspectives can exist at the same time. Wizkid brings legacy, restraint, and global understanding. Asake brings urgency, street instinct, and an almost unmatched connection to the Nigerian audience. So when both artists confirmed they were working on a joint project, expectations were not just high, they were layered. People wanted to know who would dominate the sound, who would bend, who would lead creatively, and most importantly, whether the music would feel intentional or simply star-driven. Jagodo arrives as the first official output from that collaboration, and it immediately answers some questions while raising new ones. From a sonic standpoint, Jagodo leans heavily toward Asake's musical world. The Amapiano influence is clear and deliberate. The log drum rhythm drives the entire song, pushing it firmly into nightlife territory. This is music built for movement, for packed clubs, for sweaty dance floors, not for deep reflection. That choice alone tells us something important. It suggests that the duo is prioritizing accessibility and immediate impact over experimentation or storytelling, at least for this first release. However, Wizkid's presence is not lost in the production. His influence shows up subtly, particularly through a recurring horn element that closes out each chorus. That horn is classic Wizkid. It is restrained, melodic, and atmospheric. It softens the bounce of the instrumental and adds a layer of familiarity for long-time listeners. So while Asake clearly drives the rhythm and overall direction, Wizkid leaves fingerprints that remind you this is not a guest-verse situation. It is a shared space, even if the balance tilts in one direction. Sonically, the chemistry works. There is no awkward clash. No sense that either artist is uncomfortable on the beat. The song flows smoothly, and the production does exactly what it is supposed to do. It keeps the energy alive from start to finish. Where Jagodo begins to struggle is in its lyrical focus. For a song that introduces a collaborative project, the writing feels scattered. Instead of anchoring itself around one central idea, the song jumps between several themes without fully committing to any of them. At different points, the song touches on romance and desire. It shifts into caution, suggesting awareness of where not to lose control. Then it leans into the celebrity lifestyle, its glamour, excess, and pressure. None of these ideas are new, and none of them are bad on their own. The problem is that they exist side by side without a clear narrative thread holding them together. This kind of lyrical looseness is often tolerated across a full album in Afrobeats, where variety becomes part of the listening experience. But within a single track meant to introduce a joint project, the lack of focus stands out. Instead of telling a story or making a statement, Jagodo feels like a collection of moments. Interesting moments, yes, but moments that never fully connect. Asake's delivery stays true to his brand. He leans into confidence, excess, and the chaotic energy that has defined his rise. His performance feels natural and effortless. You can hear comfort in his voice, as though this is familiar territory. Wizkid's approach is more restrained. His vocals are smooth, controlled, almost detached. This contrast is not necessarily a flaw, but it does highlight how differently both artists operate. Rather than fully blending into one identity, they seem to occupy parallel lanes on the same track. That separation can be interpreted in two ways. On one hand, it preserves their individual identities. On the other, it prevents the song from feeling like a true fusion of ideas. Despite these artistic concerns, it would be unrealistic to ignore the song's commercial potential. Wizkid and Asake command one of the strongest combined fan bases in Nigerian music today. Their names alone guarantee streams, social media buzz, and playlist placements. Jagodo is easy to dance to, easy to replay, easy to fit into club rotations. And for many listeners, that will be enough. But when stripped of hype and star power, the song feels more like a warm-up than a statement. It introduces the collaboration without clearly defining what the partnership stands for creatively. This is not a bad song. It is enjoyable, polished, and functional. But it stops short of delivering depth, clarity, or emotional weight. For a collaboration of this magnitude, that absence is noticeable. Jagodo ultimately feels like both artists testing the waters rather than diving in fully. The chemistry is there. The sound works. But the songwriting lacks discipline. If this joint project is going to reach its full potential, future releases will need clearer themes and stronger intent. Not just music that moves bodies, but music that says something. For now, Jagodo stands as an entertaining introduction, powered by star strength, solid production, and cultural momentum, but weighed down by lyrical confusion. The real question is not whether Wizkid and Asake can make hits together. That has already been answered. The real question is whether they can make something truly cohesive. And that is what the next release will need to prove.